contar ese voto, porque si alguien es elegible para votar, su voto debe de contar. So something that we really want to call attention to is that every vote should count. If a ballot's undated, that shouldn't matter, because if you're an eligible voter, your vote should count. So we want to ensure that we are ensuring that everyone's vote counts. It's really important. Count every vote. 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 So we're excited to be here with our partners today to celebrate the joy of voting, right? Because we're not going to let anyone keep us down, and we're going to come out and vote. And that is the most important thing. So estamos aquí hoy porque no vamos a dejar que nadie nos detenga. Vamos a celebrar nuestro derecho para votar y vamos a estar aquí presente. So vamos a empezar con algunos chants. We're going to do a few chants. So we're going to first do one in Spanish. And so I'm going to call it, ¿Qué lo que queremos? Votar, votar. Cuando lo queremos? Ahora, ahora. ¿Qué lo que queremos? Votar, votar. Cuando lo queremos?
Ahora, ahora.
¿Qué lo que queremos?
Votar, votar.
Cuando lo queremos?
Ahora, ahora.
¿Qué lo que queremos?
Votar, votar.
Cuando lo queremos?
Ahora, ahora.
Okay, now we're going to do it in English. It's going to go like this. Up, up with voting rights. Down, down with intimidation. Up with voting rights. Down, down with
Intimidation.
Up
With voting rights.
down, down.
With intimidation. With voting rights.
Down, down.
With intimidation. With voting rights.
Down, down.
With intimidation. With voting rights. With intimidation.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Vamos a empezar. Primero vamos a escuchar de Greg Edwards, de Power Interfaith. We're going to hear from Greg Edwards from Power Interfaith. Oh. Well, he just went in the bus, so we'll keep practicing our chant. Okay. ¿Qué es lo que queremos?
Votar, votar.
¿Cuándo lo queremos?
Ahora, ahora.
¿Qué es lo que queremos?
Votar, votar.
¿Cuándo lo queremos?
Ahora, ahora.
¿Qué es lo que queremos?
Votar, votar.
¿Cuándo lo queremos?
Ahora, ahora.
¿Qué es lo que queremos?
Votar, votar.
¿Cuándo lo queremos?
Ahora, ahora.
Up with voting rights.
Down, down with intimidation.
Up
With voting rights.
down,
Down with intimidation.
up
With voting rights.
down, down,
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 With intimidation.
up
With voting rights. With intimidation. With voting rights. With intimidation.
Let's party, right? This is a party at the mall. Estamos aquí festejando. Okay, now we're going to hear from Greg Edwards. Vamos a escuchar de Greg Edwards, de Power Interfaith.
Good morning, Reading. Are you in the house, Reading? Good morning, Reading. Come on, make some noise. We are here to tell downtown Reading that every vote is a voice that should be heard. And on behalf of Power Interfaith, Pennsylvania's largest multiracial interfaith community organizing initiative, and as a part of the Freedom Express, crisscrossing the Commonwealth, to say that just because other folks might have the loudest voice, they ain't got the only voice, and they won't have the last voice. I come from a people who marched, bled, fought, were lynched, were hung, were put on fire in the fight for freedom and the right to vote. We believe the franchisement of the vote is a sacred enterprise, because when you fill out that ballot, and you mail it in after you sign it, after you date it, or you go into the voting booth and you pull that curtain or put in that card, it doesn't make a difference whether you are Jewish, whether you are Muslim, whether you are Christian, whether you are Sikh, whether you are other faith or non-believing, whether you are gay or straight, black or white. The vote is an equalizing element that allows us for a minute to all be on the same page. And we live in a nation whose soul is sick, who denies people basic fundamental rights. We have come too far to allow a handful of folk make a U-turn back into time to deny us a front seat on the bus of freedom. And that's why we stand here today on this public ground to say we're not only sick and tired of being sick and tired, but as people of faith, we're going to put some feet on our faith come November 8th, and we're going to vote. We're going to vote for justice. We're going to vote for equity. We're going to vote for love. We are going to vote for radical inclusion because, as Dr. King said, the moral arc of the universe is long, but beloved, it's bent towards justice, but it only bends if you are willing to apply pressure. The vote is applying pressure. The vote applies 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 pressure. And we are here to keep on keeping on, encouraging our brothers and sisters who are under the sound of my voice to come out, rain, shine. I know there are some folk who are listening who, if it rains, you might not vote.
Mama.
If you get bad news, you might not vote.
Mama.
If your hair ain't done, you might not vote.
Mama.
If it snows, you might not vote.
Mama.
Don't let a temporary setback keep you from casting your ballot on November the 8th.
Amen.
We've come too far. We've come too far. We've come too far. And ain't no stopping us now.
Amen.
Blessings to you all. We're going to vote with our feet. We're going to put feet on our faith November the 8th. And we ain't going to let nobody turn us around. If you're with me, say amen.
Amen.
Amen. And amen.
We're here to vote. We're here to vote.
We're here to vote.
We're here to vote.
All right.
Ain't no stopping us now. We're here to vote.
What we here to do?
Here to vote.
Woo! Come on.
Ain't no stopping us now. We're here to vote. We're here to vote.
Woo! Yeah, woo! That was so good. Yes, yes, the joy. We're celebrating. We're happy. Estamos aquí. Estamos felices, emocionados. Queremos votar. Queremos asegurar que todos los que lucharon por ese derecho, que lo honramos con el voto. Por eso todos vamos a asegurarnos que vamos a decirles a nuestras familias, nuestros hermanos, nuestras amistades que salgan a votar. So that's why it's so important, because all the people before us who fought for us to have this right to vote, that we're going to show our friends and family and everyone turns out to vote on November 8th. So now we're going to hear from the lead organizer here in Reading for Make the Road Pennsylvania. We're going to hear from Gaby Lopez. ¿Qué es lo que queremos?
Votar. Votar.
Cuando lo queremos.
Ahora. Ahora.
¿Qué es lo que queremos?
Votar. Votar.
Cuando lo queremos.
Ahora. Ahora.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, we are here to protest our democracy. Voy a hablar en español. Estamos aquí porque nosotros necesitamos proteger nuestra democracia. El voto es nuestra voz. Y yo estoy aquí en Reading para ayudar a todas las personas, especialmente a los latinos, a llenar la boleta por correo. Yo he ayudado a más de 20 personas a registrarse online para que su boleta le llegue por correo, porque es más fácil, más seguro. Las personas que son incapacitadas, que tienen el problema de caminar, no pueden llegar a las urnas. Y aquí, a mí me consta que el día de votación le ponen trabas a las personas que van a votar. Entonces yo soy una de las personas que pasa el día de las elecciones caminando por todos los precintos, asegurándome de que el voto latino cuente. Y ese trabajo lo estoy haciendo ya por 18 años en este pueblo. Nosotros, el voto es nuestra voz. Es la forma de nosotros protegernos y proteger nuestra democracia. Por eso estamos aquí. Muchas gracias.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Gracias, Gaby. Tienes toda la razón, ¿verdad? Okay, so should we do it
All together, okay.
So we're here today. We have some folks who are ready to return their mail-in ballots today. So we're excited to support them and be here to do that together and celebrate that. Estamos aquí hoy, tenemos algunas personas que van a regresar su boleta por correo hoy. So vamos a estar aquí con ellos para celebrar eso. Y como dijo Gaby, la importancia de proteger el voto. Sabemos que muchas veces sí hay obstáculos cuando vamos a votar, especialmente aquí en la ciudad de Reading. So queremos asegurar que estamos ahí para apoyar toda la comunidad. We know, just as Gabby said, that a lot of voters face obstacles when they go to vote, especially here in the city of Reading. So we want to ensure that people have all the information they need to vote and participate in our democracy. Woo! Amen. So now we're going to hear from one of our Make the Road members, Alberto. Alberto? Okay. We'll come back to Alberto. All right, so we want to invite our partner, Burke Stands Up, Celine Stryer here, to say a few words about the work that they're doing to ensure that we count every vote and that every voter has access to voting in our city here in Reading.
Hi, my name is Celine. I'm the lead organizer for Burke Stands Up. For this entire season, we were able to actually hire paid canvassers to get out and talk to our constituents and our fellow community members here who are the disinvested voters, who are the people that our parties leave behind and don't think about when they're wondering, what do our voters want and need? And I am so proud of our paid canvassers and of all of our volunteers that have done this work, that have made contact and had nearly, I believe at this point it's nearly 50,000 conversations. And that's not just in Eastern PA, that is in Western Pennsylvania as well. There are organizations all across our Commonwealth that believe in our democracy, that believe in our right to vote and our right to determine who will lead us. We need to be together on this, across faith, as they said, across our political spectrum on the left, because we might not always agree sometimes, but we have to stay together and we have to get out every single election and vote every single election. Bring people in with us. Talk to your neighbors. Don't forget anybody. That's what they're counting on. They think we're not going to vote. They think that we're used to this. They're wrong.
Amen. Amen.
Are you going to vote?
Yes.
Are you going to vote?
Yes.
Are all of you online going to vote this year? Yes. That's right. You can't yell because you're online, but I appreciate it. That's all I had to say. Make sure you get out to vote. There's going to be lots of opportunities to do door knocking and some phone canvassing over this last final weekend. I know that Burke Stands Up and PA Stands Up is doing some. Make the Road is doing some. I'm sure Power has folks that are doing some. Get out, get involved, find somebody local, knock a door and meet your neighbor. This is how we're going to save our democracy.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Burke stands up! Burke stands up! Burke stands up! Burke stands up! Woo! All right. So, gracias, thank you. Okay, so right, as Celine mentioned, there's organizations around the Commonwealth who are doing voter outreach. We at Make the Road Pennsylvania, this past weekend, we knocked on over 21,000 doors telling people about how to vote by mail, how to fill out their mail-in ballot, and all that important information. And if they weren't voting by mail, we told them where they could find their polling site and things like that, because that is our work as community organizations, right? To ensure our folks have the information they need, but also that they have it in the language that they feel most comfortable with. And that is what makes a real difference. So lo más importante, este fin de semana pasado tocamos más de 21,000 puertas para educar a nuestros vecinos y los miembros de la comunidad sobre cómo votar por correo, cómo llenar su boleta y cómo votar el día de la elección. Que es muy importante que existan organizaciones como la de nosotros para asegurar que en el idioma que se sientan más cómodos se le dé esta información. So, quiero darle muchas gracias a todas las organizaciones que están haciendo ese trabajo. Un aplauso para ustedes. So, ahora vamos a escuchar de Natalie de el Working Families Party, que va a decir algunas cosas.
Hi, my name is Natalie Ramos Castillo. I was born in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm a child of immigrants. They came to this country, and I remember as a child having to help them in the polling booth, having to translate because they did not have Spanish speakers. They did not have the ballots translated, and I, as a 4- and 5-year-old, having to translate that. And I'm so happy. 20 plus years later, Pennsylvania has now responded and now has poll workers who speak Spanish and speak other languages and now have ballots in our language for our people to understand. Woo! We are working right now, actually yesterday, the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania decided that all counties have to segregate ballots that have that are undated or missing a signature. And what we found that impacts voters over 65. That we're talking about our elderly, we're talking about our senior citizens. This disproportionately affects these voters, and that is not okay. They need the mail-in ballot because of different abilities, access to the actual polls, polling locations not being accessible. Beyond language, there is physical accessibility that we are up against. So Working Families Party, along with Make the Road, Power Interfaith, are working with other organizations across the state so that our voters feel safe at the polls and when they're dropping off ballots. We are not going to let extremists have us in fear to make our voices heard, right? We want people to make sure that they feel that they are not alone at the polls. They are not alone at these polling locations. You have a network across the Commonwealth who are fighting with you, who are here to protect your vote. Because PA voters decide. We are not going to let outside billionaires who are going to drop in money the last week of elections to sway us. We, the people of Pennsylvania, will decide. And we're going to make sure every vote is counted. Every vote counts. 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 Every vote counts.
So we're here today to celebrate the joy and the privilege that we have to cast our ballot. Estamos aquí hoy para celebrar el privilegio que tenemos para poder votar. Queremos asegurar que todos que puedan votar salgan a votar, que todos nuestros votos sean contados. To ensure that everyone who is eligible to vote goes out and vote, and that all those votes are counted. And that's why we're here today, to celebrate voting, to uplift voting, and not let intimidation stop us from practicing our right to vote. Woo! No vamos a dejar que nos intimiden y nos traten de detener de votar. Vamos a seguir hacia adelante. So right now we want to do something. Want to invite folks. We're going to have our faith leaders go in and see if they let them go ahead and bless the drop box. So vamos a ver si podemos que dejen que nuestros líderes aquí de fe entren y le den una bendición el cajón de regresar boletas. So vamos a ver, y algunos de nosotros nos quedamos aquí cantando, bailando. We'll stay out here dancing and chanting. So let's see if they let us bless the drop box.
Bless the drop. Praise God.
Ain't no stopping us now.
We're blessing the drop box.
Ain't no stopping us now. We're here to vote. Yeah. We're here to vote. Ain't no stopping us now. We're here to vote. We're here to vote. Ain't no stopping us now. Not everyone has to vote. Do you want a microphone? Elder DeVos, do you want the microphone?
We're here to vote.
I'm going to leave this right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're here to vote.
All right, somebody praise the medicine.
Hit the vote. Just hit the vote.
Let me work on that. Give me 1 minute.
There's no filming allowed in here.
Okay.
No filming, oh, right, there's no filming allowed because of voter intimidation. We actually don't want filming.
Okay.
Thank you.
No filming in here. Bye. We'll be back outside.